Hopefully that did it. All right. Jesus Christ. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hey, there we go. Hey, how y'all doing? Hi, Saint. I miss you guys so much. How are you all doing? Hi, you good? Hi. Hello, everyone. What's going on, y'all? All right. Oh, I missed you guys so much. It's been a hell of a week. Woo, child. It's been a week. How y'all doing? Hey, Skeeter and Mark, Enrique, how y'all doing? I'm still gonna go live tonight. Y'all, it's Friday. It's easier for me to get this stuff done on the weekend when I can't get it done during the week. What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? Ooh, y'all better be hitting that like button and flooding this chat. It has been a week. Everybody's like, LLC, what are you doing? Where are you? Y'all work. Hit that like button. 14 people, 2 likes. That's almost an insult. Come on. Y'all, the YouTube algorithm is weird. Let's hit the like button and get the view up. There we go. Hit it up. There we go. Hit the like button as you come in. Hit that like button so we can keep this on the top. So a lot has happened this week. I heard lots of fun things. I heard some of which I've seen. Oh man. You know, the devil is busy. I'm just saying. But the devil is a liar. I think, we all know and believe that. It has been crazy. I can't see you all's comments right now, but I'm glancing as they pop up. Y'all. So, you guys know how I enjoy being factual in things. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. 21 people watching, 5 likes. Come on now. We need to have, if you're going to be in here, hit the like button. I'm starting to understand that algorithm. Hit the like button. You're going to sit here and watch and in the bushes. Just hit the like button, damn it. Hope you guys had a great week. I've had a busy week. I mean, working late, everything. Hit that like button. Get it up. Get it up. Let's get up to 10 likes. Thank you. Let's get it up to 10. It's 20 watching. Thank you so much. Man, so lots of court dates occurred. I did hear about the court date with Ryan. So here's the thing. You guys know I've touched on court orders in the past, right? And how court orders are effectuated. Well, that same thing goes for dismissals or anything else. If it is a ruling from the judge, it must be reduced to writing, signed by the judge, and filed with the clerk of court in order for it to be effectuated. So even if the judge gave a ruling to dismiss, it was, I guess, an issue with somebody not being there. One of the parties weren't there. Ryan was in the hallway. Something happened. It is not because the other party came back. It is only because the dismissal itself was not reduced to writing, signed by the judge, and filed with the clerk of court. So when the judge said that it was not officially dismissed, it's the same concept as an order from the court. So you can't say something gets dismissed if by federal law it has not been reduced to writing, signed by that judge, and filed with the clerk of court. That's the only way that could be valid and effectuated. Just like a court order. There's a reason why we don't just go on what the judge said. It needs to be in writing, signed by that judge, and filed with the clerk of court. That is for every court in the United States of America. It's called Federal of Civil Procedure. This is why I said that the legislative branch does not, do you all understand? These are things that can be Googled and researched. So someone say that they just, no one should be saying, well, the only reason why the judge did it is because I can't. No, the judge made it clear the dismissal was not entered in the system because based on federal rules of civil procedure, it wasn't. It wasn't. Those are facts that can be researched and read. We read here in the Lady Luck Club. Reading is fundamental. So, no, if the other party had not came back, it would have been irrelevant. It would have been a moot point. Because that dismissal, it would still be in order entry. But it has to be reduced to writing, signed by the judge, filed with the clerk of court. I don't like simple information that can be read and researched to be spread like that because it is completely false. It's a false narrative. What's going on? Oh, man. Hey, Ralph Mars, how you doing? Hey, everybody. Was Keep the Chicken Nugget fired? Was it? Bye, Big Frosty. No one will miss you. Grow a conscience. How about that? Keep the chicken nugget being fired. How do we not see that coming? Anybody looked up the status of his lawsuit that he was named? Has that been resolved? Y'all know he was sued. I went over the lawsuit. That video got more views than several of my videos that I did on Tiffany Hilliard herself. That lawsuit dealing with Keep the Chicken Nugget. That video got over 6,000 views. And that was the last time I checked it a couple months ago. So, yeah, he was named in a lawsuit. How's that going? You costing them money. That's part of the reason. Can't say that's the sole reason, but part of it is, dude, you cost them money. Plus, I don't really see the purpose of him being there. What's the purpose of him working there? Food pantry? Come on now. When you're participating in nonsense, don't think that Napoleon is as much of an asshole and football head as he is. Don't think that he won't see that information and he won't, take notice to that and say, no, he could be as screwed up and jacked up as the next supervisor or corrupt mayor up there in Illinois. But let's be honest. He's still the supervisor there, and your employment is based on him and what he ultimately decides. So it's not whether you talk bad about him or not. He probably would respect you more if you were honest about things and stop trying to tiptoe around things. Keep the chicken nugget. But no, I don't have a problem, telling the truth about Napoleon Harris. I don't work for him either, but I don't owe him shit. But now I get to speak my mind. Why couldn't you do that beforehand? Right is right and wrong is wrong. If you're saying something factual, all he can do is throw a tantrum. But you can't play goldfish and get mad when you get tagged out. You can't do that. You tiptoe around subjects and you don't have a concrete stance on things and named in a lawsuit. Oh, okay. Goodbye. So now I wanted you all to be clear on the dismissal thing, because that's a matter of federal rule of civil procedures. Irrelevant to someone, any party coming back to the courtroom. If the judge says, and judges also have discretionary power. Okay? Judges have discretionary power. So if the judge at their discretion decided if the dismissal, the order for the dismissal had not been entered into the case, had not been reduced to writing, signed by the judge, filed with the clerk of court, she could still use her discretion to say, all right, I'll recall the case. He's basically recalling it to have it, addressed back on the calendar, and have the docket heard again. And it's a status update, just a status to see what's going on with it. If you are innocent, then you defend yourself. You could come up with your defense. Get your 911 attorneys, 911 attorneys, and prepare your defense. Then go to court. I don't understand. Talk about tantrum, child. Ooh, child. I don't get it. Did the definition of the word victim change since the last time I went live? You go to court, you crying to the judge. I thought it was supposed to be dismissed. I thought it was supposed to be. You said it was dismissed, Your Honor. How is that not being the victim? How you not crying victim with that? You said it was dismissed, Judge. You said it was. The judge has all the discretionary power on that bench. And you're fussing at the judge? Yeah, because that's so smart of you. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's not something new. It happens all the time. Grown adults go to court, throw tantrums. We all throw tantrums. I mean, but damn, you would think you would pick your battles. That going before a judge in the court of law is not the time to throw a tantrum. That's not the time to do that. You might want to rethink that tantrum. Calm the hell down. Oh, okay, so it's not dismissed. Understood. This is supposed to be ye who knows laws. Oh, okay. But forget the federal rules of civil procedure. Or the fact that judges have discretionary power. All right. Y'all, you can't make this stop. You can't make this stuff up. It's too fantastical and too dumb to make up. So, good for Ryan. Getting his order extended. I would suggest that all those he has protection orders against not go on his YouTube channel and use his YouTube videos either, because that can be cyber stalking. I mean, if the words "leave them alone" does not ring a bell, I don't know what will. Leave them complete alone. Let's pretend that he doesn't exist in your mind if you have a protection order that has been signed by a judge against you. Leave him alone. That would be the smart thing to do. I don't understand. I don't understand. Especially if it's a no contact order, and that's for third parties as well. You don't go and mess with the people. You don't go on their YouTube channels. You live your life as if they don't exist until you have to go to court and face them. That's it. It's that simple. I understand if you're a narcissist, it might be difficult to do, but that's how that works. Moving on. So I'm going to go live tonight, y'all. I want to talk about Umar Johnson. It's her court. Exactly. Y'all, my God, let me tell y'all something. My mom would never, ever allow someone, like, she knows soft sits are like a special case, right? And I know I've said this before. Judges know when you're a soft sit or you a pro se, you're already going in with this sense that you think you know everything. Don't ever, ever give that notion off. Now, I'm not trying to help the assholes, but I'm just saying, in general, if you go in as a pro se litigant, don't go in there thinking you know everything, because they can see through that. They can see through all that drama. They can see through the BS. Judges see through that. And she's federal judge, so she knows, like, when she has people come in, they file lawsuits and complaints as pro se, she understands, like, okay, this person doesn't know all the rules for civil procedure. They don't know the law. They don't understand case law. They don't read about that stuff. They don't look up all the information they need that is relevant to their case. So oftentimes judges give pro se litigants a little grace, just a little grace, because they already know you didn't go to law school. You don't have a law degree. You're not a practicing attorney. you don't know what you're doing, but continue to be foolish and represent yourself. You want to go through all this, but you don't want to get an attorney. Got it. So she was like, and she even said this in her interview. You gotta have a little patience for people like that, which is true. You do, but the last thing you should do is take advantage of that and go to court and then pretend like you know it all, and then you're sitting here being argumentative with the judge that's already giving you grace and understanding that you don't know the law and you don't know what you're doing. I know I'm pro se and I did not. That would be the time to eat some humble pie. You standing in front of the judge. That's the time to eat some humble pie. So that's how that goes. When you have court documents like this, you have cases like this, you're putting on the forefront on your channels. Don't expect anybody to sit here and ignore it and then talk about they should mind their own business. That's the dumbest comment ever. Tell them to stop talking about it. That would be thought, right? That would be logic. Common sense will say, oh, I don't want anyone talking about this. Then I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to go and rant and rave in a video. I'm going to shut the fuck up. That's how that works. For the comments are talking about mind your own business. You came on my channel on my video. Hit the like button while you're here or get out. But yeah, how about they don't talk about it? And then no one would care. I mean, because they could just, not discuss it and leave the rest of us out of it. Too much like right? Too much like right. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up. Let's have it all over social media, except when someone says something we don't like. Except when someone says something we don't like, we don't agree with. It ain't, that person's not kissing my ass or kissing their ass like I owe them that. I don't owe them shit. Don't state things that are not factually correct. That dismissal was not predicated upon that person returning to court. That's not how it works, factually speaking. You would think that this stuff would be researched by that investigative team. Stop spreading information that is not accurate, that we can all read and look up. It's an insult. You don't want people to talk about it? Don't talk about it. Keep living. That's how that goes. Amen. Amen. I'm gonna sit here and bring some up and then say, why everybody minding my business? Because I'm putting my business on YouTube. Fuck out of here. This is ridiculous. We aren't going to do that here today. Thank you. That is so dumb. It's so dumb. When it comes down to just information regarding to operate, you guys, that is a matter of just researching and reading the federal rules of civil procedure for civil matters. And when it comes to criminal matters, there's federal rules of criminal procedures. And there's certain parts of a proceeding where you can't, you can present certain information, file certain motions. You got to understand what phase of the proceeding you're in to be able to handle yourself accordingly. But these are things that, I would hope the average person would want to look up and read so you can have an understanding of what you're doing. That's it. It's that simple. It's that simple. So, what else? Oh, yes. I wanted to go live and talk about Umar Johnson. Y'all, Umar Johnson's a clown. He's such a clown. But, yes, Umar Johnson, y'all. He did another video. He's another narcissist. I don't understand all these narcissists here. They trip me out. But he's another narcissist. He can't help himself. So I do want to address him in the live stream tonight. And go from there. Because he can't help himself. But this is... Oh, man. I think I don't know. Between Umar Johnson and Candace, so much we can discuss. I am going to do some more videos on Nature Boy. Just This old clown. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Y'all cut out the clown behavior and nobody will clown you. No one will clown you. Cut the nonsense. You know you got a protection order issued against you. Don't do anything to violate it. Leave people alone. Leave them alone. I just, I did catch LNC's live stream yesterday. Beth buried her husband of over 20 years. And that was made a mocked up. It was mocked and ridiculed. And for what? That had to be the most evil and soulless act I have ever witnessed on YouTube. To mock a woman during her husband's funeral. While you're watching a video on someone's channel, there's a protection order against that you shouldn't be dealing with at all. It was so disgusting. And what was the purpose? This woman is mourning and grieving the loss of her husband over 20 years. And for what? That's such a soulless, evil act. What y'all, hell is still hot. You shouldn't want to find out the hard way. You should not want to find out the hard way. I had to send a comment to her. I just so happened to be catching a couple of comments from Cafe of Knowledge video. And I forwarded that again just to kind of give encouragement to those who, like her, are saying this is enough. We're not going to sit here and deal with this. I don't understand how is that going. It was just so, that man, just mocking this woman while her, during her husband's funeral, who was a Vietnam veteran, who's a veteran in the military. No respect at all. None. No soul, no conscience, no nothing. I've never seen something so disgusting. But yet and still, hey, we walk around and talk about getting justice for those who, some of which may have lost their lives. But we don't like them. Hey, y'all. Sorry. Reception went out. Yeah. My reception went out. Sorry about that, y'all. My bad. Oh, child. My apologies. My reception went out. But yeah, these are the things, just like, when people show you who they are, believe them. Sorry about that. Thank y'all for hanging in there. I don't know what it was just cycling through. My bad. I'm in a bad area. But when people show you who they are, believe them. And sometimes people show you they on some real evil time and doing real, just heartless, soulless stuff. And they get upset when people call it what it is. It is what it is. We know what we're seeing and hearing. We're going to follow all over YouTube. So no one deserves the type of treatment Beth has received. No one deserves that. No one should have to go to a court to get a protection order. People shouldn't have to do that. That's what's happening. And the sad part is that those protection orders seem to be violated in some form or fashion. It's not how that works. But people do have the right to seek legal recourse in the court of law. They do have the right to seek some level of justice. They do have the right to file a complaint. When your rights start to infringe upon others' rights, there's a problem. Your rights does not override the rights of others. It just doesn't. So you can't intimidate or threaten or harass or bully people who file a complaint. You cannot do that. And that's something you can never around and find out the hard way. I wouldn't want to do something like that, especially if it's not like I'm not being named in it. Oh, okay. So what are we doing? You're not being named in it. Oh, okay. Well, it shouldn't even be that big of an issue. Good job. I'm right where I need to be. It should not be that big of an issue, right? If you're not being named in this stuff, the last thing you want to do is give the perception that you're intimidating or threatening or harassing someone that's decided to pursue some legal recourse or legal action. Especially when it's, a valid complaint and they have evidence, documentation to support it. Like I said, if you feel like you're innocent, then defend yourself. That's it. Defend yourself. Go to court. Let the judge determine if it's frivolous. I don't believe in filing frivolous petitions. But I mean that everyone shouldn't be a victim just because you're speaking out on what someone is doing that's wrong. It's just wrong. Either we have a soul and a conscience or we don't. How does this work now? We're losing our humanity bit by bit. For what? One person should not be able to dictate that. One person should not be able to dictate whether or not we're going to maintain some level of humanity and civility or something. That's not how that works. You don't like someone, leave them alone. Don't say their name. Don't go on their YouTube channels. Don't watch their videos. Don't do any of that. Keep your distance from them. Let them be. But don't go and harass them and bully them and they get upset when they report it all. I mean, that has to be the epitome of stupidity. It's the epitome of it. But if I don't care for somebody or content creator, because it's millions of content creators on YouTube, I just go watch someone else. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna go on their channels and harassing them in their comments. I'm not gonna do all of that. It's called get a life. So that's, no one should be bullying anybody. What does that have to do with anything? No one should bully anyone, regardless of what sector they belong to. I've seen disabled persons bullied and mocked. Someone has a birth defect, we're mocking that? Did Jesus do that? Let's just ask this. Did Jesus walk around and mock those people he healed? I don't recall one scripture in the Bible where Jesus himself mocked one of the 10 lepers before he made him whole. When did that happen? When did Jesus mock the blind man before he healed the blind man? Or the lame man that had to be lowered down through a roof to be healed? Or the woman with the issue of blood? When did Jesus mock these people before he healed them? Hey, Mom. When did that happen? My mother has entered the chat. Y'all say hello. When did Jesus ever mock anybody before he healed them? A disabled person was mocked while speaking at a funeral. When did we do that? When did we do that? This is the level of disgrace that some people are sinking to here. We're mocking people who are disabled persons. Soulless. It's just absolutely soulless. If you have no conviction in doing that, then no, you have no right to sit here and get upset when people call you out when it's wrong. And as Christians, we should hold each other accountable. We can, with love, this is as sweet as it's gonna get from me, but we can, with love, correct people. That's what the Bible speaks of, gentle correction. So, are we gonna continue to pick and choose what scriptures of the Bible we want to weaponize? Is that how that works? We pick and choose the scriptures of the Bible we want to sit here and obey and uphold, and the ones we want to, the ones we want to uphold and the ones we want to ignore, act like it doesn't exist. LNC said something very profound. Good for you, Shay. And it blessed my soul. He said, saying God is working on me means that you're actually putting in the work yourself. Faith without works is dead. You can't just say God working on me and you're not doing your part to give God something to work on. How are you able to say God is working on you when you're not trying to live your life right? When you're intentionally making decisions that you know God would not be pleased with, then you're intentionally sinning. And God is like, leave me out of that. You meant to do that. Don't bring me up into this talking about, God, I'm working on you. If you're not trying to work on yourself, you got a whole Bible you can use. A whole Bible you can go and refer to. I've given you a template. It's called the Word of God. If we're going to pretend like this Bible does not exist, then what do you expect me to do? That's what God says to us. What do you expect me to do if you're not trying to do anything yourself as a Christian? It was very profound what Shay said. Well done. Well spoken. Well said, Shay. And it's true. It's absolutely true. So we have to learn to be able to correct each other and not to feel like we're above reproach. Because God knows how to sit you down faster and better than anyone else. God knows how to do that. God knows how to sit you down. So I'm not here. I don't encourage bullying from anybody. No one. No one. And even when I say something that can be taken as an insult, yeah, I repent every night. I have to. I don't want to go to sleep unrepented. What if God decides to take me? I ain't trying to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. God never said we were going to be perfect, but he doesn't expect us to continue to live in the sin. And any changes that we make to do better should be genuine, should be done wholeheartedly, should be done intentionally. I repent for sins that I can only hope were mistakes that God sees as mistakes. But either way, I repent for it all. That's how you can say God is working on me, when you're constantly, when you're aligning yourself to try to do better. Nobody that is disabled should be mocked during a funeral. And we know what we saw with that fight. You're not going to change the minds of those who saw it. And the judge will be able to determine, based on the evidence and the law, who was the primary aggressor. We all have our opinion. I've already said who I foresee to be the progressor based on what I saw. And it was not Amir. But the court takes a look at the entire picture, the whole story, the whole scenario. The judge is going to look at what happened before the fight, the moments leading up to the fight, and what happened after the fight. And that will be assessed as a whole complete picture here, not just one part of that scenario. The judge is going to want to know, okay, what led up to the events of the fight itself? And then what occurred after the event of the fight, of the incident? That's how it's going to be presented in court. Not just starting with the first hit. No, moments leading up to it and what happened after that. And I said the same thing about the Thornton fight. I gave my thoughts on that. People disagreed with it. But in this scenario, Amir wasn't wrong. He just wasn't, because I'm looking at what happened leading up to the fight, moments before it, and then what happened after the fight. You don't try to flee the police if you aren't doing anything wrong. It was almost a police chase. Don't you think the judge is going to take that in consideration? It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. But, you know, when you don't know the law, then of course this stuff goes over your head. And I'm not going to profess to know everything. That's why read and research in the Lady Luck Club. Reading is fundamental. Because there's always something to learn. There are certain cases that are just taken on, you know, case by case. It's not always black and white. But those types of scenarios, those types of cases, yeah, the judge is going to look at the entire incident, before, during, and after, and go from there. And I find it hard for this judge to say that Amir somehow is going to be penalized for it. I would find that very, very difficult. And if it's a civil matter, let's say he has a lawsuit, his burden to meet is a preponderance of the evidence. That's 51%. Criminal matter is beyond a reasonable doubt. So I don't know if there have been, you know, any criminal charges. What's the status with that? Has there any criminal charges filed on that? What is the AG doing? You know, the governor up in Illinois is the worst. The AG up there is the worst. The absolute worst. So hopefully you guys had a good week. That's just kind of my, you know, don't go around here intimidating and threatening people who are trying to seek legal action. It's not going to fare well for you. It's not a good look either. And plus, it doesn't change how this stuff is seen in court. It's not going to change that. It doesn't stop anything from being investigated, you know. And I use Cafe Knowledge's complaints as an example. No matter what anyone calls her, or if she's somehow a victim now, or, you know, whatever, it's not going to stop the FBI from investigating her complaint and her local law enforcement. It doesn't stop those things from happening in court. That's why I tell people, and I reiterate this, YouTube is not court. And going to court is not like your YouTube channel. It might not go the way you expected at all. You can get on your YouTube channel and talk big game. But when you go to court, it might be a whole different ballgame. So, whether it's almost 2, I'm about to sleep. Have a great night. All right, Bush Logic. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Love Cafe. Me too. Cafe and Knowledge, honey. She is not for play. She is not for play. Cafe of Knowledge does not play that. And no one is sitting here intimidating her, calling her a victim or anything. She meant what she said. And she has that right. So does everyone else. So does everyone else. I applaud her coming forward and showing everyone how it's done. She did one video. She said, I'm not going to speak about it any further, and that's it. And she's going to let that investigation play out the way it should. So hopefully, if that's anything I can encourage those who are pursuing this, you know, in court, or they have complaints, don't give the opposing party more than what they need to use against you. You speak your piece, you've made your record, let the investigation play out, or let the lawsuits play out in court. Do what you need to do. But you know, no one's victimizing her, and she's not handling herself as she should be. And I don't want anyone to do it. I don't want anyone to do anyone else like that either. And she has 2 complaints. So no one should be put in a position where they feel like they can't, you know, speak up and defend themselves. And like I said, I don't encourage frivolous petitions. So make sure you have your evidence. Make sure you have some merit to your claim. But she's the only ones sitting here dogging her out for it. And why should anyone else have to endure that type of treatment? It makes no sense. Y'all, so we have a fun live stream I planned this evening. We're gonna go in on Umar, the Prince of Pan Crust Pizza. Yeah, it's something else. And I want to thank all of you guys for supporting my other content as well. Those videos with Umar Johnson, I am blown away at getting 10,000 plus views on those 2 or 3 videos I've done of him. And I am doing a lot of research regarding Umar Johnson. I'm late to the game, and I told, set that in those videos when it comes to him and my reporting of him. But, I can give my commentary and present the information that I come across. And then just, check out these new videos he's posting up where he's giving everybody the middle finger. Y'all, Umar Johnson gave everybody the middle finger. Them dookie fingers he threw up in the air. Umar Johnson, come on, man. What you whining about, man? Yeah, Umar Johnson said he's throwing up his dookie fingers at everybody. Because his little scheme he got going on is not working anymore. Y'all ever notice some of these narcissistic beggars and scam artists? They raise all this money. He's been trying to open up a school for 15 years? Guess what? He's selling packages and all this stuff. That's a pyramid scheme. That has the characteristics of a pyramid scheme. You selling packages for contributions for a school that you've been saying you're going to open up for 15 plus years. It screams Ponzi pyramid scheme. It's a tier package. You go from like bronze to diamond level. That's a pyramid scheme. And he wants to get mad because people are not buying into his nonsense anymore. It just, and it's sad because even if you have a legitimate, request for contributions, it just ruins it with people like him, because people are going to start thinking all these content creators, all they do is beg for money. I have a $25 goal in my live stream for the bills that go towards creating content. I have literally posted contributions at work on my channel. I have no problem showing anybody my Xfinity bill. Y'all want to see that? That bad boy is $70, $70, $77. I can post it up. I have no problem doing it. But you get people like him that just ruins it. Please don't call me. I'm doing a lie. Bye, Mom. Bye, Mom. Because I don't know what you're saying, but I am not speaking along any of those things. I have no idea what your message is about. Where are my mods? Everybody have a blessed day. Stay positive. You guys tell my mom bye. So, Umar Johnson, Prince of Pan Crust Pizzas, ruin it for everybody. Y'all. Ruin it for everybody. But please stop giving him your money. I can't see all of the comments. You guys say bye. Bye. I'm picking up your grandchild. Yeah, I'm sitting in the car line for school. I hate these car lines. I really, really do. Yeah, just the youngest. Don't put their names in here. There's some weird people that'll try to go looking for my kids because they don't like commentary. Yeah, it's weird like that. There's some deranged folks out there, y'all. Umar needs to be put in prison. He does. I advocate for that one. God, Umar needs to go to prison. He does. He certainly needs to be investigated by the IRS, the FTC, the state of Delaware, and the FBI. He needs to catch it. You know, raised over, according to Linen Honor, $1.67 million. Prince of Pan-Africanism Pizza, Pan Crust Pizza. Prince of Pan Crust Pizza. Prince of Pan Crust Pizza. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prince of Pan Crust Pizza. Not sure if you guys were aware. The Prince of Pan crust pizza. Sitting here on pepperonis today. Got extra sauce and light cheese on this pan crust pizza. Because he got to say things 3 times in a row like no one heard it the first time. He's such a clown. We're going to have fun, y'all. We're going to have so much fun. Yeah, he's laughing at Umar. Yes, I am. I'm going to laugh at him, McCall, on my channel. I sure will. I am laughing at that clown. And I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm A4 American. So I laugh at them all equally. Umar, from what I was told, is a Democrat. So wouldn't that be like laughing at a Democrat? Laughing at him? Umar is a Democrat, is he not? Who knows what he is? What he is a scammer. And a swindler. So, what difference does it make? Laughing at him? If he's a Democrat, there you go. You're laughing at a Democrat. Chabu. I laugh at people when they do dumb things. It's just insulting to sit here and to limit his whole scam down to being a Democrat versus Republican. None of that matters at the end of the day, McCall. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. When you stand before God, you will stand alone. Jesus will not be asking on Judgment Day if you are a Democrat or a Republican. He doesn't care. God does not care who you vote for. That's not an issue for him. That will not be a question he asks on Judgment Day. Y'all, hold on. I gotta get my child. Talk to y'all later.